What's up, everybody? Of course, Showtime, Shawn Porter. What I'm doing right now is reintroducing Motivational Monday for the month of March. I had my acting coach come on into town, Sly, Billy Williams, and also, of course, Carson Merk was here. And very excited to talk about my acting career that I'm trying to get off of the ground, and also the movie that I intend to be the first movie that I star in, round one. I get a call from the writer and the co-writer. Hey, my man, we appreciate you promoting the movie, but you got some wrong. They sent me a list of things that needed to be changed in the Motivational Monday, and they asked me to reshoot Motivational Monday. I said I can't do that. I will do some edits. Wasn't able to do any edits. So what we did was we basically, at certain points where I was excited and may have misspoken or missed certain key points for the film, we have gone in and we've added some subtitles to what is actually correct. So the reason why we are going to reintroduce this episode is because I think that is a key episode for, of course, my personal life. But I think, again, some key moments that were missed, and due respect to the writer, the co-writer, to everyone involved with the film right now, I felt it best to reintroduce this episode with the corrections, and hopefully you guys check it out once again if you have not before, and enjoy. God bless.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Microsoft Theater here in downtown Los Angeles, brought to you by Shawn Porter Promotions. Live from Los Angeles, it's time for the main.
How's my hair look?
Really good.
I'm good. Good. All right.
Can I borrow some?
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Porterweight Podcast. This is Motivational Monday. Of course, we got Carson Merk over here, but today we have, for me, a very, very special guest. For you all, I'm sure you'll figure it out that he is a special guest to you as well. Welcome to the show, Billy Sly Williams.
Well, thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here.
Yeah. Billy Sly, for anyone who doesn't know you, I don't even know if you knew, you have an IMDb page? IMDb page?
Yeah.
And you say, I don't control it, so I don't know what's on there.
No, because one in Germany said I had 8 kids.
Oh, snap.
It's actually 12. So yeah, they're way behind. They're years behind.
That was a few years ago.
Sly here is an actor / acting coach, mentor, has done some production, right?
Yes.
Have you done any directing?
No, that's the one thing I'm staying away from.
Yeah. I'm not mad at that. I know what goes into that.
Yeah.
A little bit about what goes into that.
Yeah.
But if you look up his IMDb page, Billy Sly Williams, not to be confused with Billy D. Is that why you added the Sly?
Yeah, you know, funny story. In SAG, there was a Billy L. Williams. And you get the name till you die. Mm-hmm. So they were like, you got to change your name. I was like, okay. So I was thinking things like Mark Anthony. And my father was like, and I will kill you. So I was like, take the basketball nickname Sly and put that in the middle of Billy Sly Williams, different social.
Yeah.
That's how it came.
Yeah. Just go back just a little bit. You from New York?
From New York City. Yes.
Can we say where?
Lower East Side of Manhattan. LES.
Okay.
Shout out to my brothers and sisters.
Okay.
LES.
Okay.
You say, can we say where? Like there was
Yeah,
some kind of conspiracy?
Yo, it's a lot. You said shout out to my brothers and sisters. There's a lot of them out there, right?
Not those brothers.
Oh, just in general.
My Lower East Side.
Still a lot of them out there too.
Let me shut up.
I
was about to say something.
Let me get off of it. But the reason why I wanted to bring into the fact that you are from New York, give the quick story of how you got into acting.
Okay. Okay, I'm from the Lower East Side and the Boys Club of New York. Pretty much, I grew up going there, and and basically, I got a scholarship to go to private boarding schools. So, in the summertime, when you come back, you got to give back. You got to give back to the community. So you work over like at a big insurance company, and everybody on scholarship. You come in and do these jobs. So we were all basketball players and very competitive. So we would bet. Like the first bet I won I made him sit on like a little kid's play horse.
Little coin machine, you know what I'm talking about, outside the...
He put 50 cents in, and when he stopped, like kids are like, why is this adult on there? When he stopped, you got to look at the kid and put 50 more cents in, look back, and just keep on riding real serious. So when he lost, he was so mad. So the next bet, I lost, and he made me go to an audition for a commercial class. They were giving out free scholarships to a man and a woman who won. So basically, I went, and I had to give it my all, and I did. And all of a sudden, they were like, well, hey, we want you to actually come do the class. You won. And I was like, oh, no, listen. See them guys in the back right there? All I care about is getting them back. That's it. I'm like, get it to somebody that cares and wants to do it. I'm like, because I don't. I just want to get them back. And the guy was like, hey, what do you got to lose? He's like, if you come, you don't pay. So why don't you try it? If you don't like it, go ahead. You can just go ahead and do your thing, no big deal. And I said, all right, I'll try it. And next thing you know, the rest was history. I loved it. I started taking other classes and just dove into this thing with 2 feet. And the rest literally is history.
And the other classes weren't out of spite or out of a bet. Those were for the love of the game.
I actually gave my all for real without an agenda. So it was nice.
And the thing that I know, or feel that I know from being in New York so much and knowing so many New Yorkers, you guys, as you can see, talk kind of fast.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm trying to slow it down right now.
It's a fast city, so y'all move kind of fast.
That's right.
And so, I do want to know. I want you to tell the viewers, from your standpoint, what coming out to Hollywood, what that experience was like. We actually have never talked about that. But from where my thought process is like, okay, he's a New Yorker. It can't be too hard for him to go out there and make it. Of course, you have made it to an extent. You've been very successful in Hollywood, but how was it for you when you first went out to Hollywood?
Oh, when I first got here, it was like, I think October of '89. And I was like, yeah, I ain't bringing no coats because they said it's hot. I'm good. I brought tank tops. It was freezing. I was like, are you kidding me? And of course, my man was like, look, man, we got a house with 8 bedrooms. We got 5 cars. I got you. I got to the airport on the New York side, called. I'm getting on the plane. Didn't hear back. Landed. I'm here. Didn't hear back. Next thing you know, I'm stranded at the airport. So literally.
Hasn't seen that friend to this day.
No. So I called a friend of mine, and I'm like, can you believe this guy got me out here stranded? And she was like, you know what? I got you. Hold on. She called a friend. His son came, pick me up, and I literally, I slept under a desk in a 2-bedroom apartment with like 6 guys, and I was the 7th. And literally, I had no blankets. I was freezing.
Using a drawer as a blanket?
Yeah. I was pulling up, furniture, trying to steal blankets from them when they would sleep.
And was the move for Hollywood, for acting?
It was for acting. My manager in New York, pretty much, when I met him, he was like, okay, I hear you all right. Let me see what you do. He sent me on 11 auditions. And I booked all 11. Oh. So he looked at me and said, you're all right, but you still need class. So he put me in Meisner, and literally, Meisner technique is a moment-to-moment technique that teaches you to bring truth to your work. And literally, it just changed the game for me. Not in New York, but when I got to LA, I studied with an amazing teacher. Her name is Janet Alhanti, and God bless her, she passed, but it wasn't a religion to her. For her, it was like, I don't want to strip you of everything. I'm going to keep what you got in there because you're a black man. I know nothing about that. So I want you to keep that, but I'm going to add to what you got. And that made all the difference in the world for me. Because I learned, the lingo, how to talk to directors, how to talk to producers, how to talk to writers, and, just the formalities of acting. And then it's like what she added would bring in truth to my work and staying in the moment. It just took everything to a whole other level. Big time.
You got anything?
No, I was going to say, it felt like you had one in the tuck. I was just going to say, when did you feel like, obviously that's a big move, New York, Hollywood, you go through all this. Was there, at any point, did you feel like, all right, I think I'm good. I think I kind of made it. I think I'm secure, like, in the business.
I actually was like,
2021.
Sorry, he's gonna say I just got there.
Actually, about 3:45.
right. When I first got here,
I thought it was last year. Go ahead.
when I got here, my manager was here, and he pretty much was like, he left New York, I'm going out there for a minute, I'll be right back. So when he got out here, he stayed with Joseph Maloney and Renee Taylor, and they're like just old classic Hollywood, and they had a big mansion in Beverly Hills, and he stayed in their guest house as a manager. So he hit me and was like, I got some good news and I got some bad news. And I was like, well, as a black man, let's start with the bad news. And he was like, I'm not coming back to New York. And I was like, wait a minute, what? He's like, but the good news is I'm taking my top 10 clients and I'm going to bring them out here. So I was one of the 10, and I was like, don't they have earthquakes? Don't the earth shake out there? I'm like, I'm good. Yeah. I'm like, you can work with me from over there and I'll stay here. And he was like, no, you need to come out here. You did 3 of the top. At the time, I did 3 of the top 5 shows. And the other 2 were never going to hire black people because it just wasn't that kind of show. So he was like, think about it. If you booked 3 of 5 shows, that's like an 80% booking rate that you're at. Mm-hmm. They had 46 shows at that time. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to be on my way. And literally, the craziest thing is I was parking cars at Stringfellows, one of the biggest clubs in New York. Peter Stringfellow owned it. And I was about 17. They didn't know that. But basically, one of the guys, Pablo, he would come to the club, bless everybody. And we kind of knew his money couldn't have been legit, but he tipped so well, we didn't care, And literally, Pablo was like, I told him, I said, my manager's going to LA. And I'm like, but my mom is here. My mom is my world. I'm like, I can't leave my mom. And he was like, look, you go. Don't worry about it. In fact, I'm going to pay your ticket. He goes, there's something different about you. Trust me. He goes, there's something different. Go try it because your manager knows what he's talking about. Explore it. Live a little. I'll pay for 1 week. When you're ready, you don't like it, I'll fly you back. I said, okay. So I came here. Literally, he sent me on about 8 jobs, and I booked the first 8 right away. And so I was like, wow, when I saw how many more opportunities we have here, there was no questions. I had to stay.
Hey, do me a favor. Describe that auditioning experience. You see it on TV. You see a lot of times with the main character of a movie or a TV show where it goes bad, and then you see the other side where it goes well. It's the other side where it's the lines out the door. You know what I mean? Like, what's the experience like, or has it been like over the years?
Oof! It's like when you do a TV show, there's a director that's like, "Hey, Bill, Sly, I love the way you do that little thing right there." And I'm like, okay, got you. Then here comes the writer. Hey, Bill, I love how you do that little thing. It's the opposite of what the director said. Then here comes an executive producer. Hey, my girl loves that thing you do. It's 3 different things. Mm-hmm. So I go to everybody. Then I go out there and do something completely different that I know works. And y'all go, that's what I'm talking about. Good job.
We were right. We were right.
We were right.
Did you tell us that?
And I just don't talk to nobody. I just beeline out.
Yeah. Have the lines been like that? Have you had those experiences?
Oh, most of my jobs were to pretty much have personality to make somebody else look good. Mm-hmm. And when you come in like that, it's like the words, what makes it hot is never on the page. Mm-hmm. So you got to lift up words and take it to a higher level. Mm-hmm. So for me, I would always just break down scripts, create beats. Most actors remember lines. Mm-hmm. I'm a little different. Yeah. I remember beats. Yeah. And the beats bring the lines to me much more naturally and quicker. By the time I got my beats, I'm ready to do this thing.
The DJ Premier of acting, some would say.
In a lot of ways, we'll come back to the beats, all right?
Yes, sir.
I want to get into how we met. Because this is a true story.
5 minutes ago when he pulled
This is a true story. I'm in Hollywood. He, like as we said earlier, he's got siblings back home, and I happen to be friends with one of his siblings before I knew Sly.
Two.
Well, yeah, 2 of them. Yeah. Shout out that Barack.
Oh, there you go.
That's
Yeah, he's Small World.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Shout out to Barack and Mike. Mike watches every episode.
You said Small World? I thought you said he's my world.
No.
I was like, he's a great guy.
That's my dude. Yeah, that's my dude, but he ain't my world. That's my dude. But, I happened to be in LA, downtown LA, and I was watching an episode of Martin. Happened to be my favorite episode that's on. And his brother texts randomly all the time, is texting me, how you doing? Are you at the fights? Da, da, da. And he knows I'm in LA. And in LA, he says, you haven't met my brother out there yet. I said, nah. Now, at this point, all I know is about Barack. So I'm like, no, you got another brother. He says, yeah, he's in the acting world. Now it's cool. I can say it. Like, I want to be in the acting world. So I'm like, oh, he is, you know? He said, yeah, he's done a bunch of things. I was like, okay, cool. While I'm checking out my favorite episode of Martin. He said, he's even done an episode of Martin. I said, for real? He said, yeah. He said, do you remember this episode? Through text, he's doing all this. You remember this episode? And he describes the episode I'm watching on TV. This is a true story. Wow. Favorite episode that I'm watching on TV. And I went from just cooling while I'm texting to, hold on a second. Da-da-da-da-da. I said, I'm watching the episode right now. He said, are you really? I said, yeah. He calls me on the phone. He said, you watching the episode? I said, yeah. I said, you got to introduce me to your brother. He said, yeah, word, I'll do it right away. I said, no. You got to introduce me to your brother. This is one of my favorite episodes of Martin, and it's because of him that it's one of my favorite episodes.
Wow.
And so he says, I'll do it right now. The same day he introduced us, you came down to downtown to meet me for the first time. And I'm geeked out because this is literally one of my favorite episodes because of the two scenes that you were in. And I'll just describe the episode really quickly.
Tell them the episode.
It's on IMDb. It's on IMBD. Y'all can check it out on the IMBD. IMDb. Yeah, y'all can check it out. IMDb.com. Check it out. It's an episode where, funny, Martin comes in. He's trying to be a manager for a singer. Yeah. And he comes in, and it's a fast talking agent that he comes and talks to. So that's why it's my favorite episode. Right. Get back to the beats just a little bit. Yeah. So
it might be my favorite because of Tommy's spoken word at the early on in the episode. But you were all right too.
And still I rise.
Yeah. Well, I've been paying attention to movies and TV shows and all that kind of stuff for a long time. So much so that I stopped just watching movies and started really dissecting them. Also, kind of why I started doing doing all of the reviews and stuff like that. I felt like, okay, I'm digging into this thing and I'm really digging what I like. You know what I mean? And so what I found that I really liked about the episode was the beats, how you delivered that scene. You talk really fast, and I told Sly this. I said, what I would do when I watch movies and stuff, I would pause it and I would try to do it just like they do it. Watch the scene. I've tried to pause that and do it like you. And it got to a point where I let it go, right? Yeah. Funny thing, let it go. I'm talking to Mike. Mike's telling me about his brother. Once I said, okay, his brother's from New York, that's why he can do it. And I let it go. Like, I'll never be able to do that. I'm not from I'm not from New York. I'll never be able to do that, you know? Right. So I let it go. But Michael introduced us, and instantly, you know, there's a connection there.
Definitely.
Beyond being on Martin, beyond you being in Hollywood, me saying, yo, this is my ticket in. You know what I mean? So it was a thing where if I came to LA, you hit up Sly. Not because Sly is gonna take you to an acting studio, but because Sly is just fun. Sly is cool, and Sly just happens to be looking out for you whether you like it or not, which is kind of how it kind of always was. You need a ride? I'm like, no, they got me. Fox got me. I'm good. You know what I mean? But he was always there for me. So we get to the point where I go to a acting studio with you, and he says, we hit him up. I'm coming in town. I got to train some ladies. You want to come check it out? I said, yeah. And I actually took Malcolm with me, and Malcolm and I were there to just kick back and check it out. And while they're doing it, he looks back at me. I should have queued this up too. I should have queued it up. I'm gonna send it to you. Because why not? I'm kicking back and I'm watching, and he's like, "You want to try it out?" So I end up trying it out, and Go ahead. You know, you spoke a lot about my instincts or whatnot. Is what you wanted to see through the process.
Shawn literally was like, okay, cool. He strolled up real cool, put his phone away, stepped up to the stage. And I was like, I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
So I put him with one of the top students, you know, and she got that fire, can throw it at him. And he sat down, she sat down. Next thing you know, automatically, instinctively, he just went in and he took his time. He listened and responded truthfully, and the scene escalated right up, and they went back and forth with this exchange that was just amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at him like, I thought he said he never acted before, you know, because, you know, you can't do that unless you've done something before, you know. And then literally Malcolm gets up and he jumps in there and literally takes it to a whole nother level and starts telling the girl, because you know you got a baby on the way. And
so let's we'll go back real quick. So the lady is allowing someone to move in with a friend, lady friend who's very good looking, and the girl's married. They got kids and problem in the household and all that kind of stuff. And this young lady's moving in, her sister, her friend. And I'm the brother supposed to be coming over there to check her, you know, hey, why you letting your friend move in? You know, that's not how it's supposed to go. You know what I mean, you got your husband over here, and she's defending like, hey, we on our last leg. I don't even care. And, you know, we have a back and forth. And the cool part about acting, very cool part, is I came with the instinctive demeanor that I have, which was be hard. That's like it's just kind of who I am. Like, I'm not hard, but in a situation where I have to confront somebody, I'm hard, right? So I came at it hard, and he directed very well and kind of showed me where, okay, this is where you pull back and you let the actress do her thing, and you don't have to work there. You let her work, and the scene becomes what it is, right? So then Malcolm goes up to do the same scene, but he's doing it with a different girl. Enters the room. You let her room in? He said, cut. Hold on a second, Malcolm. He said, why you coming with that energy? He said, well, shoot, that's the energy Shawn came with. He said, yeah, that was the way Shawn chose to do it. He said, but you're not Shawn, so you have to use your instincts and do this scene the way you want to do it. Now, my scene was me telling this girl that telling my sister she shouldn't let the girl move in, and what is she doing? She ain't thinking. She gonna let everything fall apart on it, and I'm giving it to her. And then she gets to a point where she starts to break down, and she starts to pour her heart to me, and then I have to console her, right? Malcolm comes in, and after that cut, like, hold on, this is a completely different scene. You can't do what Shawn did. Do something different. Malcolm's a preacher, a reverend. So Malcolm comes in much softer, and he comes at a girl who comes in is more aggressive at first.
Oh yeah. And
so Malcolm gets polite, like aggressive in a polite way, but the scene's completely different. So much so that Malcolm, with his instinct, says, "You got a baby on the way."
I mean, just dove in, and literally, we just leaned in. All that was missing was some popcorn for both of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They just stepped in and stepped their game up, and the other actors were like, I thought you said they didn't act. I'm like, they don't.
So now you guys need to step your game up, because they don't even act. And
they made them step their game up. That's what was so amazing for me. You know, looking at everybody and teaching people, it was just amazing to watch instincts just meet and just take everything to a much higher level.
Is that something you see, I wouldn't say often, but is that something you see where people just kind of have it? They just give it a go, and you're just like, okay, this is clearly what you're supposed to be doing?
I believe some people can learn, and then there are those who just have a gift.
Yeah.
And he just has gifts, like not just in the ring, but in all aspects of life. Like I've watched him sit back, and everybody else is like, you know, racing and trying to figure things out. He stays calm, cool, collective, looks up and says, what's the problem? And just gives you a quick answer.
Yeah.
You listen to him, he goes back to texting, and it's a quick fix.
He's acting. He's actually not even texting right now. He's acting.
I'll tell you, man.
Get that guy in SAG right now.
He's calm, cool, and collective at all times, and thinks way outside the box from my experience.
And while he is doing this, we mentioned Martin, obviously, which it is a great episode. You have like a crazy run of just, like, you talk about top shows on TV, like it's I mean, NCIS, Steve Harvey show. You were on Shameless. Like you've been on everything. How
90210.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, like it's funny because the 90210 podcast has hit me up over Instagram, and they want the whole black cast to get involved and talk about that whole experience because it was about Rodney King, you know, and the whole Rodney King incident. And how today, here we are. That was like 91. Here we are. It's worse.
Yeah, right.
So we're all gonna get together and talk about that. But I'm telling you, back then it was an agent. My manager became an agent, Michael Green. When you got good representation, you're on top shows.
Yeah.
Once you hit, everybody wants to work with you. So you just got to have the right people in place, and then the career just does what it does because they run that front door, right?
And you mentioned those shows where you kind of started out, and you said there were certain shows that they weren't going to cast a black man on a role. What was it like, and how have you seen that change? Obviously, you've been in the game for a while now.
For like when you look at people look at the CW and they love it, but it was the WB. And the WB had a frog. Hello, my baby. Hello,
had a little,
yeah. So that was built off of black people's backs. When it got successful, it's like they sold it. And it became the WB. And it became black shows on that network became a thing of the past. And now it's just the most successful white network on television. So it's weird. Like it was there, then black people were gone. Then a whole lot happened, and now it's a good time to be black again.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's kind of turning over
right now. Yes, it's a good time to be black because everybody's trying to have diversity. Everybody's trying to show, hey, we're not racist. You know, no, we love all ethnicities, and of course that's BS. But this is a good time when people are trying to show that for people to capitalize, not just black people, but Asian people, Latin people, everybody.
What am I doing with this?
Just check them out. I had to promote this real quick because we played playing cards yesterday.
Yeah, I'm not a card guy.
I'm
a yoke the Joker guy.
Mart's got playing cards. The blackpack.co if you want some Martin edition playing cards.
Yes.
He's got everybody in here. Roscoe, Jerome,
all the characters,
all of the characters that he played. Right here, another one of my favorite episodes where he does the New Jack City,
the Nino Brown.
Yeah, Nino Brown.
With the infamous dog.
Yeah. That is my favorite.
Talk about acting. That is the best.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. If you haven't dove into Martin the way I have, if you go back and look at that scene, you'll see everybody in the back. They're laughing and turning their backs and all that kind of stuff. I can imagine they probably shot that scene quite a few times. We're just like, we're gonna go with it, do the best you can, huh?
Listen,
is that how it goes working with Martin?
Working with Martin, a lot of actors are nervous because Martin's improvisational skills are off the chain. Mm-hmm. So it's like when you work with Martin, he gonna throw something at you, and you better be ready. And if you freeze up, it's gonna show. Yeah. But for me, I'm like, I love to play. So he threw something at me, and I threw something back, and wow, the chemistry. We just had a good time. In the role I played, Dex, the man that writes the checks. I was a record executive. Yeah. And basically, it was based on a producer at the time named Lou Salas. So they took bits and pieces of his life and just played with it. And the character was so hyped up on caffeine that he spoke really quickly. And for anybody else, it would have been tough. But for me being from New York, I just spoke at my normal speed. Yeah. So I sped up real quick. And then he points out, you better slow down. Man, all that caffeine, slow down. Yeah. Then we start talking regular. But that was fun. The start, you had to just come out with a bang. Yeah. And it was just so much fun.
Yeah. And then so now here we are. I am a retired fighter. And I really wouldn't say I'm trying to get into acting. I think that I've been in acting for a while. And I think that how long we been kicking it? We've been kicking it for a minute, So while
it's been more than 2 years.
While the first film or the first character somebody sees me play on television or wherever
first
that may
round,
be.
Some would say.
First round, some would say.
I do what I can.
I like that. I do what I can. That's clever.
It wouldn't be my first time, around the block. No. You're even here right now. We're just going over scripts, we're reading scripts and just getting familiar, and the list goes on. But we have the first round teaser. I wanted to show it, and I wanted to kind of talk to it again. A lot of people, I don't know if you've caught the Motivational Monday episodes. I think we looked at some numbers the other day, and they could rise.
They could be better.
They could be better. But You got to go back. I don't know what number it is, but I did a Motivational Monday episode. It was episode 9. Thank you, producer. With Boyd Melson, who is he came out here and he did that episode with me, and we introduced the Round 1 movie. And so I don't know, that was what 4 episodes ago, three episodes ago, and now I have my acting coach here.
Wow.
And we filmed one day, one complete day.
Literally.
Yeah, one
Not
complete
knowing
day.
anything, walked in blind.
Yeah, we filmed a complete day down in Virginia. We did a little bit at Barry Hunter's gym.
That's right.
Yeah, shout out to Headbangers, and we put this together. Enjoy it, and this is Showtime, Shawn Porter's future. Hey, Pop. I need you to forgive me. I know I promised I wouldn't box anymore, but I wish you were here, Pop.
Double jab right. That's it.
Passes come back.
Chambers, fine pressure coming off the jab. Knocks him into the ropes. One. He puts him to sleep.
Don't you dare put your head down. Unless you praying, there ain't nothing down there for you. Look up.
Sorry, Pop.
Sorry. For what? For doing what you believe in?
I need you, Pop.
No, you don't need me. You were given this life because you were strong enough to live it. Now, it's okay to be hurt, but it's not okay to be still.
Pop.
No. You know what I want to hear. Now give it to me.
I fight with this.
And
Love with this.
that's what I'm talking about.
And when two become one, I'm unstoppable.
Well done. Now I want you to use your heart to rise up and fight back. Fight back, son.
I'm starting to understand now. All those things you used to say. New beginnings.
Yes, sir.
Not bad, huh?
Oh, not bad at all. You did your thing.
I thought Sly was the guy from the Crossroads Bone Thugs video for a second. Touching the people and putting them out.
We shot that, and essentially what it is, quick backstory of the film, this kid is supposed to be the next everything in boxing. You look at Mayweather, he was supposed to be better than Mayweather. Win a gold at the Olympic Games, not just go to the Olympics, win gold, go on and do everything you could do as a professional fighter. Dad passes away, and you know, he says, I promise I'll never fight again. I don't want this without you. But then he's like, this is what we have always done. I have to do this. And so he continues to box, but because his dad's gone now, he doesn't have that man behind him to keep him out of trouble. And he's faced a situation where he's trying to get to the Olympic trials, and he doesn't have the money to fund himself to go to the trials. Local drug dealer says, hey, I got you. Just make this delivery for me and I'll take care of everything. Making delivery, he gets arrested, and he's sentenced. He's gone to jail. He spends 10, 15 years in jail, somewhere around there. He comes out of jail, and the number one guy who couldn't beat him the entire time from youth until he went to jail goes on to do everything he was supposed to do. Wins the Olympic Games. Goes on an undefeated professional fighter who's knocked out every single fighter he's ever fought. And he gets out of jail, and this guy who went on to do everything is about to have his last fight, and people are talking. Hey, Vince is out of jail, man. Imagine where you wouldn't be if it wasn't for him going to jail. And now this guy who's supposed to retire is like, I can't have people talking about me like that. This dude is nothing. He beat me back then, but he can't beat me now.
Right.
And so it's a situation where this guy gets out of jail. He's got the drug dealer coming after him. He's got this guy saying, hey, I got to settle the score once and for all. Show everybody that you can't beat me. You beat me when we were kids. You can't beat me now. And it's a heck of a roller coaster ride. We found that the movie was well written.
Very well written.
Shout out to Andre Berry.
Yes, sir.
And also Boyd Melson for adding the boxing expertise to this film.
You go.
And we believe collectively that this will be one of the most, won't say the most, but one of the most realistic boxing films that you can have.
Definitely.
In a long time, for the sake of words. Of course, with having a real fighter in the film, but also from the standpoint of the drama added into the film, it makes for a really good film. So
I gotta say, it's like I really don't read a lot of scripts. Like it's like if you a truck driver, your family says, "Let's go drive the cross country for vacation." No. So when reading scripts, no. I like to have the person who reads them for me tell me this got your name over it or not. He put the script in my hand, and I started reading it and I couldn't put it down. I was just amazed. It's up for me.
He called me. Hey man, you read this script yet? I said, nah, man, I was waiting on you to read it.
True story.
He said, man, I gotta come out there, man. We gotta sit down, man. We gotta get into this. And we sat down and we got into it. Yeah.
It's to me, round one is about a father and son bond. And every script I've ever acted in, produced, when you look at a black father and son relationship, it's always estranged. It's always he ain't there. He's been in jail. He just made families and left. It's always negative. This was so positive. And the bond between them two was so tight and so strong. I just feel like the world needs to see that. We need to see more of that. Because it's just a lot like him and his pop, you know. Big shout out to KP because when I met these two and I saw the father and son bond, I just rarely see that, and it just touched my heart in a big way, like separately and together. You know,
and that was another point that you made about the film. You said, man, listen, if we can bring this,
there you go,
to the world, to the audience, and show them what you've experienced your whole life.
Exactly.
You said, imagine who hasn't seen what you've experienced your entire life. And imagine who don't get to experience what you get to experience. He said, so forget that people missed it. Now you have an opportunity to expose them again to what you've experienced from childhood till now.
It's just an amazing story. You know, you have two great parents that together did their thing and individually did an amazing job. And it's just, you just don't see that in black families. You really don't.
KP made it to the last round of auditions for the role, but didn't make it.
Well, that was a quick turnaround that we did. I got to shout out Barry Hunter. He doesn't even know that he's
just like Barry.
Yeah, he doesn't even know that he's in the teaser because he wasn't supposed to be in the teaser.
Right.
Essentially, we were just using Barry to showcase the kid. Shout out to Mikael down there in DC as well. But they were just using Mikael's body and just the mid part. And then, one thing led to another. We say, you know what, let's show it all, So I think we got real, we got raw, and we did the best we could. Now we're using this teaser just to get funding for the film. After that, we'll be off to the races, reading the script and dissecting it, finding the beats and going after it.
What's amazing is I got to give Boyd a big shout out because he just seems to be tied into a lot. And literally, he's talking to people right now that looks like they want to put the funding up, and I think it's just the beginning, So there's a lot of potential here. Everyone loves you. That's the one major thing. And the script is tight, and I just think it's going to be special. Yeah. It's going to be something that people love.
Yeah. And lastly, for you, Sly, I mean, from the standpoint of the first time we met was right after me learning about you, being a fan of yours without ever meeting you. And I mean, we met the same day, and to this day he tells me all the time, like, I don't do this. I don't do this. We've gotten on planes together.
I don't fly.
He don't fly, and we've flown across the country together. Yeah. We've gone on some road trips. We've done a lot. Just saying that to say, just again, from the motivational aspect of it, there's an amount of dedication that I've learned from boxing. I think that people who are fans of boxing understand that it's more than just hitting somebody, and that there's a real art to it. And even beyond all of the art, all of the winning, the losing, the money, the trophies, all that kind of stuff, there's a core value that you get from boxing. So when you say, you know, Shawn's really amazing, I think that number one, God blessed me to be who I am. But the other side of that is everything that I've done through the course of my entire life has kind of been boxing. Boxing's been the core of everything that I've done through the course of my life. So where you see me dedicating myself to this script and really going far and beyond, where other actors were just like, hey, call me back. You know, I'm really trying to make this work because number one, I want this to work for myself. And I've already gone on record for saying, hey, if the movie gets funded and I'm not the main character in this film, or I don't get to be a part of this film at all, my brother Boyd wins, and my other brother Andre Berry wins.
That's right.
And so collectively, I win all together, you know. But until that happens, I'm putting all of my time, my energy, my efforts into that. The same way you wouldn't do probably 50%, half the stuff you've done with me, the dedication that's required to help somebody fulfill their dreams.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Help somebody get ahead in life. Help somebody get to where they want to go. There's an amount of dedication that you really can't measure. And I think that I've done that as a fighter. And I think that now I'm doing that as a businessman and as an actor now. You guys have seen me do it on TV as a broadcaster. And
Podcast time to time.
the podcast. We so dedicated. We went to check out your man Chocolatito this week.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So just want to remind everybody out there that while we are talking about acting, we're talking about Martin and you know, a lot of the big names that you've been in the same rooms with, on the same screen with. We just want to remind everybody that, you know, you don't just get there overnight.
No, you don't.
You don't get there by accident.
You don't. It's like, to me, you know, whatever you do in life, like when it comes to boxing, it chose you. You know, when it comes to acting, it chose me. And big shout out to Martin Lawrence, his brother Robert, and Ray, Ursula, Shawn, everybody. I mean, I got introduced to them by Larry Wack, and it's the Wack brothers, Kenny and Larry. That whole crew has taught me, if nothing else, you're only as good as your team. And Martin's team is amazing, because our goal is just to get him in and out and make sure he has an amazing time, has fun, and does great work with no incidents, and get back. And, you know, for them, they're the only people that I have flown for and go beyond me, because my mom was ill and I became her nurse. So literally, till the wheels fell off, Martin always invited us every year to his really nice home. And every holiday and every nursing home, Rob and Marty would come through and be there for my mom. So for me, I can never pay them in money what they've done for me. So what I do is I'll stop any and everything to be there for them for the rest of my life, because I owe that to them, and I appreciate giving us that sense of family. You know, so big shout out to the whole Martin Lawrence family. And they, of course, love you, man. So that's a gift from the whole crew, the Martin Cards, by the way. You know, we just did the 30th year anniversary, and y'all gonna love it. Be ready. Be ready. It's gonna be amazing.
I'm sure there's a million tips you could give a young actor or actress. Is that one of them, the team? Just like if you have the right team around you, things seem to work.
It goes beyond age. To everybody in the world, you're only as good as your team. And when I put on my hat to work for Martin, I'm about making sure he has the best, making sure everybody understands the level that everything has to be on. You know, we advance things and make sure things are right so we can get in, get out and do God's work. You know, that's what Martin loves, is to do God's work, the whole team. And it's the same thing. What you have in common with Martin is your level of commitment. When Marty commits, he commits. When you commit, you commit. You're both family men. You're both great fathers. I don't have any children, so I watch you, I watch Marty, and the way you guys are with your kids is just amazing. Like, we're running lines. He got one on the neck, one on the leg.
Doing curls with the other arm, reading the script.
And we're making it happen. You know what I mean? But I just love seeing, we've been to church together. I love where he is with God. I love where he is with family. And I love where he is with commitment to doing the best and being the best Shawn Porter he could be. When I see that, when I see a person with the kind of blessings he has, I'm right there. There's nothing I won't do for you because I believe in you. I believe in Marty. I believe in him. Anybody I believe in, I'll go beyond me. Like, I won't fly for me, but I'll fly for them.
Yeah.
That's what you said. That
It's the truth.
Before. Yeah. You got anything else?
No, I was gonna say, anything coming up for you outside of obviously round one? Anything?
Yes, there's a pilot. Big shout out to Peter Wise and Dan Garcia. We got a pilot coming out with Jennifer Freeman, who was the daughter on My Wife and Kids. It's her show, and I play a sheriff who, chews tobacco, spits into a little spit cup, and is just really upset because, back in the day, I got my old girlfriend in my jail and Jennifer, and I cheated on my girlfriend and kissed her at a prom. So I got them both in the jail, and I'm mad at both of them, and it's just really funny. So that's
Keep an
one
eye
to
out
look
for
out
that.
for. Yeah, and also with Dan Garcia, I play a CIA agent. That's coming up. Two amazing. One's a drama, one's a sitcom. And I tell you, I've not really been this excited since I got together with Shawn for round one. I just kind of feel big things for this, and as long as he's a part of it, and Trey and Boyd, as long as we're all right there pushing, I don't know, I just kind of feel God's hand in it, and I think it's a story that needs to be told.
Perfect.
Looking forward to it.
Perfect. Well, listen, I'm going to be acting.
Yes, you are.
Without a doubt. So this won't be the last time you be on the Porterway podcast, but I thank you for lending your time.
Absolutely.
I thank you for coaching me
Listen.
and being there right beside me, doing everything we got going on now.
It's a blessing and an honor, man, to just witness how God works through me, through you, and just reaching other people and being inspirational for your Inspirational Mondays. It's all about being an inspiration. It's all about, very few people I meet actually lead by example. I got to say, you're one of them. Marty's another one. Rob, everybody. I love people who lead by example. I said at 5 to myself and everybody, I'm never going to drink, smoke, get high. I'm never going to have coffee. And to this day, never done none of those things.
I'll say this, and then I'll be done with this episode, but man, essentially that was a big reason why I wanted to box. I felt like I could be an example to other fighters. And I've tried my best to help change the image of boxing and the image of the average fighter. And I've tried to lead by example and show these other fighters that you don't have to be like everybody else. Right. As long as you're exciting and as long as you know what you're going for, you'll be successful. And even if you happen to fall short, if you've done the best that you could, people will recognize that. Right. They'll appreciate it. And you'll live to see another day.
No, you've definitely done a lot to change the game and add class to boxing. I love the podcast I loved was with you and, of course, Terrence Crawford on your show after the fight. That was just so classy and it was just brilliant. And people need to see that, that's work. But here's real life, and here's how God touches in real life. And it was just amazing.
There you go. Thank you, Billy Sly Williams, everybody. This has been the Porterway Podcast, Motivational Monday. Please don't miss this. Check it out. If you're watching now, that means you watched it.
Missed it.
Yeah, it means you haven't missed it. Hey, man, you did your job.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We appreciate you.
God bless. What's up? I'm Showtime Shawn Porter.
I'm Ant. Follow me on IG, Ant with 2 T's.
This is the Porterway Podcast. This is Anthony Brenagh, and this is Carson Merk. Tell them what to do.
Hey, like, subscribe, comment, follow us on all social media platforms.
Subscribe.
I'm from Louisiana. I'll talk with a B. Let's do it. Let's do it again.
All right. Just introduce yourself.
Okay.
And then you tell them what to do.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Porterway Podcast.
You're already here.
Hey, this is our outro. We're going to do it how we want to.
I'm Showtime Shawn Porter.
I'm Anthony Brenagh.
Carson A. Merk. Like, subscribe, comment.
This is the Porterway.